What's going on, everyone? Ravi Abuvala from Scaling with Systems here in beautiful Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I've been down here for the past 14 days with a few of my other friends, but in this video, I'm gonna be talking to you guys a little bit about some customer retention or client retention strategies. Now, don't be fooled. Customer or client retention can feel like one of those foo-foo things that doesn't have much importance to it. But if you actually follow this correctly, it can be the difference between you having a wildly and massively profitable business that sees double-digit growth month over month versus an okay business where you're fighting for every single customer and you see annual growth of just single digits. Think of it this way, right? So let's say that this month you do $80,000 in cash collected for your company, and next month you have a goal of hitting $100,000, which would be a 20% increase in your month in cash collected. And if you did that without a solid customer or client retention strategy, then you're going back in the second month and the next month having to find $100,000 worth of cash, versus if you had a really solid customer retention strategy, then your clients are going to renew for the next month, and that $80,000 is going to carry over, and you only have to find $20,000 more in order to hit that $100,000 growth mark. So really quickly, for those of you that don't know what customer retention or client retention is essentially the idea that whenever someone signs up with you, they're either A, continuously paying you every single month for their services, or B, they're moving up in your value ladder if you have some kind of product or one-off service where they buy one thing up front, then they want to buy the second thing and then the third thing on the back end. Customer retention is how you can turn one customer from someone that just gives you $1,000 one time to someone who gives you $12,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over a period of a few years. So let's get right into it. What are the 3 customer retention strategies I recommend my clients at Scaling with Systems? The first one is going to be set expectations correctly. Now, if you're doing the sales calls or you have somebody else doing the sales calls, it's incredibly important that whenever someone buys in your program, they understand 100% what they're buying into, and the expectations are understood so that they're not expecting this magical pill that they swallow and all of their problems are solved. Instead of saying, hey, we're gonna get you 100 bookings next month, and you know that that's honestly on the higher end, you can say, hey, we're gonna shoot for about 10 to 15 bookings for you, and you can set their expectations at a reasonable level. That way, if you meet them, they're happy. If you exceed them, they're thrilled. And that way, if you don't have to go underneath them and disappoint them. The second customer retention strategy that I would recommend that you follow is to create a customer retention SOP. So we love to use Asana, and I'll put a link in this video somewhere to another Asana tutorial I walk through on how we use Asana in order to hold our standard operating procedures. But you want to essentially create a standard operating procedure that takes your account manager or you through the exact steps they need to take from day 1, the client being signed on, for month 1, month 2, month 6, month 12, month 36, until that client has been offboarded by you. These simple and easily followable steps can include stuff like make sure you send a client welcome email, make sure the client conducts an onboarding call, send the client a letter in the mail, send the client a bottle of wine on month 2, send the client a Starbucks gift card on month 3, send the client a t-shirt on month 4. Whatever you essentially want to do that, number 1, can be SOP-able, teachable to somebody else. Number 2, lets the client know that they're welcome, they're wanted, and they're special. And number 3, actually increases the efficiency of your entire team. Finally, the third and final customer retention strategy I recommend is have a ticketing system so that you're able to answer all of your clients' needs whenever they need them. Most small business owners or clients that I see, typically when they come in there, whenever they close a deal or they sign somebody into their company, there's no real sure and easy channel for that client to reach out with questions. And so what inevitably ends up happening is that client reaches out to the salesperson that closed them, or on your cell phone because you called them whenever you close them in, asking questions, and then you get upset that they're messaging you through the text messages, asking all these questions, and on each side it's a massive amount of inefficiency and everyone's upset at everybody. We like to use a ticketing system like Zendesk. That's what we teach our clients inside Scaling with Systems, so that as soon as that client is closed and brought on board into our company, they get an email, they get a personal phone call, they get a text message, and they're let know inside the course section, hey, if you have any questions whatsoever, you need to email support@scalingwithsystems.com, as that ticketing system is monitored 24/7 and we're able to answer you back within 24 hours. This way, if the client's texting me or texting the closers, they can easily say, hey, email it to support, and we don't have to get upset that everyone's messaging us. And also the client can get the exact answers that they need by emailing support and having someone train, like a virtual assistant or an account manager on the other end of that support ticket that's able to walk them through any questions they have concerning their problem. So that's it, guys. Those are your customer retention strategies, okay? Number 1 is gonna be to make sure that you set expectations correctly, either you or your salesperson, so that whenever they buy into the program, it's exactly what they expected whenever they paid. Number two is that you have a standard operating procedure in place, some kind of action sequence or automation that onboards the client and sends them gifts or lets someone know, hey, this is how many touch points you need to do, or this is how many emails or phone calls you need to do, and here's the gifts you need to send, so that every single client receives the exact same amount of service. And number three, make sure you have some kind of ticketing system in place so that it's very clear to your client how and where they can reach out in order to get answers, and it doesn't burden your sales team or you, and it's able to actually be easily delegatable to a virtual assistant or a customer success manager. If you got value out of this video, as usual, please do me a quick favor, give it a thumbs up, comment down below any questions you have about customer retention or client retention, and make sure you hit the subscribe button below. And also, as usual, in case you guys have any additional questions about customer success or how to even find customers or clients in the first place, or how to make your first dollars online, or where to find a virtual assistant, I've created an entirely free course. It's about 8.5 hours of training where I walk through what customer success is, what kind of business model you should be running, what those SOPs look like in order to onboard a client, where to find a virtual assistant, what the messaging script should be, and so much more. All you have to do is click the link down in this video and you'll get instant access to it. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.